Okay, so hello everyone. Thanks to be there. I'm Valentin. I'm really glad to be here with you today to begin this series of webinar that will present you concrete case of a real company that we implemented thanks to Odoo. So I'm Valentin. I'm a business analyst at Odoo. I'm also therefore a functional consultant and a project manager. And that's why I'm here today, and that's why I'm your speaker of today, because I personally implemented this solution, Odoo, of this company that I will present you today, obviously with the collaboration of the CEO of this company in this case. So this is a series of webinar that is beginning. So this series of webinar will present you really concrete case of implementing Odoo in the real life. So I really recommend you to follow all of them if you are interested to know how we manage to implement Odoo in real life to solve the problems of the companies of today. So the topic of today is to use Odoo in the beauty retail industry. In fact, actually, the beauty retail industry, it's a really interesting topic nowadays because, as you may know, in the times that we are facing today with the crisis, companies have more and more to be present on internet, to have an e-commerce, and the consumers will more and more orders and purchase their products on the internet with the e-commerce. And that was actually the case of this company that I will present you today, and I will talk about it just afterwards. So just let me begin with the agenda of today. So today, first one, I will present you the company, so on a global view. Then I will present you what were their problems that they were facing in the time that they were not using Odoo and how we managed to solve those problems with Odoo. Then I will show you a concrete demonstration how does it work now with Odoo and with what we did in Odoo. So I guess it will really be the interesting part of this demo, so I really recommend you to stay until the end to show and to have the opportunity to follow this demonstration. Then we will finish this presentation with a live Q&A session. So do not hesitate to ask your question in the live chat, and I will try my best to answer to it after the presentation. So let's begin. Concretely, the company. Who is the company? The company is, as I said earlier, a company who is selling cosmetics products, so products. They have both channels, the B2C and the B2B. Concerning the B2C, so to consumers, they are selling their products online, so with an e-commerce. Concerning the B2B, so to business, they are selling to resellers. So they have a lot of different customers, different types of customers that they have to deal with. So again, it improves the importance for them to have the possibility to manage a lot of orders that will come. Secondly, they are producing their own products, but it's not really true because, in fact, they decide themselves how the products will be built, so they build themselves their bills of materials, but actually it's a subcontractor that subcontract all their products, so they deal with one unique subcontractor that will produce all their products. So here is a strong need of a good communication between them and the subcontractor. Notice it. And also, all the stock is obviously to ease this flow of production, stock directly in a warehouse that is at the subcontractor location. The company is based in France, but they are selling worldwide, so it's really important also here for them to have the opportunity to manage a lot of orders that will come from all over the world and that will have to be delivered all around the world. So really important here also. Concerning the employees, there are 20 employees, so it's not really big, but all employees come from various backgrounds, so they do not have all the same IT knowledge, and it's really important here. It's a big point because that's a reason why they choose Odoo, because Odoo will really be an easy software, management software to handle, and that's a point for them because a lot of employees do not have a lot of knowledge in IT. They are using most of the time spreadsheet. They just have a simple e-commerce, and the communication is for the moment through emails before having launched Odoo. So that's it really for the presentation of the company globally. But concretely, what were their main issues? As I said, they just have built their own website, but unfortunately, they did not decide to go with the website of Odoo, because they just, before taking Odoo, they just took their own website with their own e-commerce, not with Odoo. So they were looking for a software next to their e-commerce that were able to easily manage all the orders that came from their new website. So obviously, it's not something that we recommend. We recommend, obviously, to take the Odoo website, to have the possibility to have an all-in-one software really integrated with all the orders that will come from your website and from your e-commerce. But in their case, that was not the case. So we have to deal with it. It's okay. And we have to manage something for them to be able to easily handle orders that came from another e-commerce. Then, obviously, that goes with it. They have more and more orders on their e-commerce, so they have more and more communication to do with their subcontractor, the unique subcontractor, as I said before, because they are more and more orders, so it leads to more and more manufacturing orders to tell to the subcontractor, and then it is really important for them to have a clear bill of material that are built. At the moment of before having Odoo, the bills of materials were managed on spreadsheet. It was really not convenient for them, because there were a lot of loss of data. And finally, they were starting to have a lot of stock problems, stock issue, because with more orders, you need to have the possibility to easily reordering your components to make the orders. So that was also for them an issue. So before talking to you with how we did to solve those kind of problems, I will just present you how we managed to decide the implementation phase of the problems. It's really important before launching the implementation of Odoo, yes. It's really important to know how you will do that, because it's really the foundation. And actually, this client decided to go with a 50 hours pack with a consultant, so me in this case. They go on a software as a service platform, so on the internet, and it was in a V13. So if you notice that in the database that you just create now, there is some changes with the demo that I will show you just after, it's normal, because now the database that are created is made in V14, and the actual database that I will show you is in V13. So if there is some change, there is some new feature in the database you are creating, it's totally normal. If you have some example, feel free to tell it on the chat. We will maybe discuss it afterwards. So the first phase of an implementation of a case of Odoo in a company is to do a kickoff phase, as we call it here. A kickoff phase is really to put the foundation, the base of the project. You really need to know what are the problems that the client, the company is facing, and how we are going to deal with it, and how we are going to solve them thanks to Odoo. It's really important to be in phase, that's the word actually, to be in phase with the phases that you will put in place. So once this is done, we can, at the end of the kickoff phase, decide of a planning of the different phases. So after the kickoff phase, actually in this case, we did the master data import that were really important for them to directly have all the data imported in their database. For example, they have a lot of bills of materials to define, and so we import the master data, we create the bills of materials, the product, and so on. So we have the foundation to prepare the database for them. Afterwards, the first phase was to implement the sales and invoicing flow, because in their case, they wanted really to quickly have the possibility to manage all the orders that came from their new website. And that's really a big point of Odoo. Thanks to Odoo, you will not be obliged, it's not mandatory to implement all the apps to be able to use some apps and not the other. So in this case, that's what we did. We really completely implemented the sales and invoicing flow to allow them to directly use the sales and be able to manage the orders. It was really important for them. So once we did this and everything on this phase was mastered, we were able to go on production on this, and then we begin to with the second phase of purchase, inventory, and the manufacturing part of this business. And then finally, we put in place the accounting, because we did it usually because accounting will really embraces all the parts of a business. So it's important to have, before launching the accounting, have all the parts of the business that are already implemented. So now, concretely, how did we do to solve their problems with Odoo? The first thing that we did is on the sales flow. We managed to build a very easy template for them to import the orders. So as I said, it is not recommended to not use the website of Odoo and the e-commerce, because if you do this, you will be able to directly have the orders on the backend of Odoo. But if you are obliged to use another e-commerce, it's okay, and we'll deal with that. And we built an easy template to import on a day-to-day basis all the orders. And once all the orders are imported into Odoo, Odoo become really the all-in-one software of the company. Everything is not anymore useful. Some spreadsheets, some emails sent to subcontractors or the customers, everything now is done with Odoo on the Odoo software. So the sales, the invoicing, and the accounting part is now done on the Odoo software. Afterwards, we build clear bills of materials in order for them to have really to know which quantity of products of our components are needed to produce the products, and it's really built into Odoo, so there is no more spreadsheet to send to the subcontractor for them to know what they have to build. Everything is on Odoo, and everything will be on Odoo forever. You can edit it afterwards if you want, but it's really more convenient for you to have all this kind of stuff on the Odoo software. And it goes with it. You have to communicate. In this case, they had to communicate with the subcontractor. The subcontractor has to know what kind of product he has to build and what kind of component he has to use to build these products. And that's why, in this case, we decided to give an access to the subcontractor to the database. And it's a really important point, because they do not more have anymore to send emails to the subcontractor with the heavy spreadsheets or stuff like that. Everything is on the database, and the subcontractor has the access on Odoo. Obviously, they do not have access to all the database. They just have access to the manufacturing part of your database. And finally, we put in place some reordering rules to make them sure that they will never go out of stock. As I said earlier, it was a problem that they were facing, and thanks to Odoo gives the possibility to define reordering rules on your product that will trigger automatically some manufacturing order or purchase order, depending on the case of the product, to effectively never go out of stock, put a minimum level of stock, a maximum level of stock, and stuff like that. If you have questions on configuration of a reordering rule, do not hesitate to ask in the chat. So now, let's see concretely how it works in Odoo. It's demo time. So let's go. And you will notice that actually I'm in the sales manager login of the database. So here, the important to know is that I will show you really how the process is working, but I will not show you how we did to put the setting in place. I will really show you how the process is working, how Odoo is automatically created some purchase order and stuff like that in order to be on my stock level, but I will not show you how to configure it. So again, not hesitate to ask in the chat if you want. So the first thing to do on a day-to-day basis for the sales manager is to import their orders that came from the e-commerce, which is external to Odoo, unfortunately. So it looks like that. You have a spreadsheet that tell you a template that come from the e-commerce with the contact of the day and the sales order of those contacts. So that's the contacts that are here and all the products that they purchase with the quantity and the price that have been defined. So the first thing to do in Odoo is simply to import the contact of the day. So I will do it easily on going on the contact app. making an import here, just next to the create button, load the file, take it, and it will automatically display the first sheet of my template. So I will just make a test to be sure that everything is fine, because it's always better to know before importing if there is a mistake, but normally there will not be a mistake like here. So I import it. So 9 records were successfully imported, and I will check that, for example, John is effectively now on my database with the address, the mail that I specified on my import. So great, it's okay. Now I have to import the sales orders. So I put the sheet of sales order on the first sheet, and I go back on Odoo, and I go on the sales app and make the import of my sales. Exactly the same way as the contact. I take the sale order, I make a test, and it's okay. I import, and everything is fine. So from now, everything will be done from Odoo. It's really important to know. And all this manipulation would have not be to be done if I had the e-commerce of Odoo. But it's okay, we had to deal with that. So we built a template like that, and finally it's really easy to import. In a few minutes, it's okay. So now I will go on the first order of the day that I just import, and I will see that John Marcotney just purchased me the tonic ball with a quantity of 2. Thanks to the green border, I can see that it's okay. I have 800 of this product in my stock, so it's okay. I will confirm it, and I will be able to deliver it directly. So now I'm in the delivery order. I will validate it. If I want, I can see that the quantity has been automatically reserved by Odoo because I have it in stock. So I will validate it, apply, and it's okay. My customer has been delivered. Now, obviously, when you receive some orders from the e-commerce and from consumers, it will not be really most of the time a huge amount of quantity, a huge amount of orders. So obviously you will rarely go out of stock in such case. But in their case, the moment where they go out of stock, if it's when they have to deal with a reseller that want to purchase a huge quantity of product. So let's take the case, and in this case I will do it directly in Odoo because it's not on my e-commerce. I'm dealing with my reseller on the phone, and it tells me, I do it here, it tells me that he wants to buy me 500 of the tonic ball. Okay, 500, great, it's okay. I see that actually I still have it in stock. I have 798 of this product, which is correct because I just delivered 2 of this product to John Marcotney. So now, okay, I will save it, confirm it, and I'm able to deliver it because I have it in stock. Great, I go on the deliver, I validate it, I see that everything is reserved, I validate it, and I apply it. So okay, everything is done now. But now the fact is that if I go on my product from here, I will see that now I'm a quantity on head below my minimum quantity that I defined thanks to a reordering rule. So on the product, it's here that you will define a reordering rule. Here, I decided to put a minimum level of stock of 500 and a maximum level of stock of 1,000. So here now, thanks to that, Odoo will automatically create me a manufacturing order because this product has to be manufactured. This is defined on its route. And Odoo will trigger me a manufacturing order to go back to my 1,000 maximum level of stock. So basically, Odoo will do it automatically on a day-to-day basis by default, but you could customize it if you want. And what I will show you here is a manual action, but it's really the case. It's really just to show you actually, because normally Odoo will do it automatically, and you don't have to go on the product and see that yes, I'm below my minimum quantity. Odoo will do it for you and will create the manufacturing order that I will trigger it now manually, Odoo will do it automatically. So now I'm going into my inventory and I will tell to Odoo to run the scheduler that normally he has to do automatically. So I run my scheduler here from the operations in inventory. So okay, it's okay. And now if I go on my manufacturing part, I will see that, okay, Odoo creates me automatically a manufacturing order of the quantity that I need to go back to my 1,000 products. So it's okay. Now, I'm not really obliged to go see there and to tell to the subcontractor to do it. If I decide with my subcontractor that he has to log in into to Odoo every morning and to go seeing if there is some manufacturing order, some new manufacturing order, he will do it. And so now I will connect me with the subcontractor login. And as you can see, the subcontractor has just access to the manufacturing part of your database. It does not have access to your sales, to your accounting or stuff like that. You can really decide what you want a user to be access to. So now I go on the manufacturing and I can see that I have something to do as a subcontractor. So I will check the availability of the components that have to be consumed to make this product. So I check the availability. And I can see that, unfortunately, I don't have the necessary stock for this. So what I can say is, if the sales manager did not notice it, I can just here log note to the sales manager and tell him, hey, did you notice that we do not have enough stock for the SAM ta-ta-ta? Okay, so I log it, and now I will go back on the sales part, and he will, in his Odoo, receive a message here of the subcontractor that tells him, hey, did you notice that we do not have enough stock for the SAM ta-ta-ta? Okay, so I will go on it, and I will effectively notice it. And I can see that here I do not have enough stock. So if I go on it, I can also see that for these components, I define also a reordering rule of 500 and 1,000. Here, I'm good with my quantity on hand, but my first cost quantity is not good. So if I trigger manually the scheduler, something that Odoo will normally do it automatically, you will see that this product will be automatically purchased by Odoo, thanks to the fact that my route is a buy route and that I correctly define a vendor on history. So if I now go back on the inventory and run the scheduler, okay, now I can see that in my purchase, Odoo create me here a new purchase order to go back to my maximum quantity on the components that I defined. So it's okay because I wanted to produce 702. So there is the 2 here. It will consume 702 units, and then I will go back to my 1,000 units of this product thanks to this automatically created purchase order of Odoo. So okay, it's perfect. It's really convenient. I confirm it. And then I can validate the receipt. I validate the receipt of 1,002. Okay, I apply. And now, if I go back on the side of the subcontractor, he will be able to check again the availability and to see that everything is fine to produce this product. So it's okay. Now I produce it. In this case, I will have to define a lot. So that's really a good example to show you that the communication between the subcontractor and the sales manager is really better thanks to Odoo, because at the time of that they were not Odoo, that didn't have Odoo, they were obliged to tell that they define this slot on a spreadsheet and they send it by email. So it becomes really hard to handle such kind of communication when we have such important data to exchange. So they obviously 50% of time there will be a lot of data missing. So here I will define a new lot for the 702 products. I save it. And now I mark it as done. So it's okay. I have produced all the products that I have to do. And if I go back on the sales manager part, he will be able to notice that he is now on the stock level that he wants. If I go on the products and I go see my tonic, okay, I'm now back to my maximum quantity of stock. And everything has been done automatically thanks to Odoo. So really convenient, really great to use the reordering rules, and the fact that I given access to my subcontractor for him to have the possibility to directly enter the produce of my products, of my beauty products and cosmetics products. So that's it for the demo. I hope you enjoyed it. I will go back on the slide. And if you have any question, feel free to ask. I will check on the chat if there is. Okay. Okay. David Egerton. Hello. Can you have customer-specific price tables for products? Yes, for sure. And it's really easy. It's price list in Odoo. So I can show you if I go here on my database. Sorry, tech. When you will be on the sales, you will have here price list under product tab. You will have price list and you will be able to create a price list here. So for a specific customer, imagine you want to add price list plus product for VIP customer, and you add the product. So you can choose to put this on all products, on all specific product or variants or product category. So imagine you want to make a 50% on this product for or you want to put a fixed price for this particular product. You say, okay, this product is at 10 in this price list, so it's okay. And now on the customer, I will be able to put, imagine I go on John, and on the contact of John, I will be able to tell that his price list is the VIP. And now if I select this product on a sale order for John, it will be the price that I defined. Okay. Yes, Mukhtar, just tell your question. If it's okay, if we have time, I will try to ask. How do I set up multiple variants with different prices? Multiple variants, you can, the prices of a variant, you can define it also with the prices, like just I said, you can define it with a variant. Or if you use variants, you can define, how to say that, the cost that this value, so the value of the variant will add to the price of the product template, you know. So and this is on the product himself. If here I go on a product and I define something, I have to tell that I have variant. So I will, in this case they were not using variants, but I will do it to show. So if I say color as an attribute, and the value I say blue, okay, and I say green, okay, I save it. And now if you go on configure variants, you will see that here you will be able to tell the value price extra of the value blue on this product. So if I say that if I sell this product with a blue, the actual price will be plus 10 of the product, of the product template. Okay, so that's it. There won't be a part for CRM. No. What do you mean? If want to purchase products in different currency. Okay, I see that my moderator just respond you ID. So Mukta, if I want to purchase product in different currency, not my home currency, using purchase, is it possible to do that? Yeah, sure. So you have to configure your database in multi-currency, and doing that you will be able, when you do a purchase, to select the currency that you want to use in this case. I don't know. Yes, here it's okay. In this database is the case. So here I'm requesting a quotation, so I'm making a purchase, and I can specify the currency that I want to use. And again, if I use price list, I can on my price list define that when I buy the product in this currency, the price of this product will be that. Is it possible insert custom formula for price calculation? There are actually some in the price list settings. You can define if you want to be a simple price list, or if you want to use specific formulas. So if you go on the sales application, here in the settings and price list, here you see that you can just tell that your prices will be multiple prices per product, or you can define advanced price list with some discounts and formulas. But this kind of stuff is maybe a bit complicated to show you here during this webinar. I suggest that you, if you want to have more information on the advanced price rules, you send an email to webinars at odoo.com, and we can plan a meeting to show you concretely how it works. How do you sell products in a currency and set the currency by default on the client? I think I will check, but I think that here, if you put how to say that, a country on the form of the client, the currency for Odoo, the currency belong to a country. So if you put it here and you put the client on a quotation, it will automatically choose the best currency for you. We sell some items which can be extended with a lot of options, and this option can affect the price. How it can be easier for sales? Select additional option and see real price. Yeah, so when you use variants and you put it, effectively the best option is to use the extra price, because when you will select the product on the best option when you use variants and you want it to be shown when you are using the options and when you are specifying the value that you are going to sell, it's better in this case to use the extra value price that are defined on the product template here, because when you will do your quotation and you will select the price, automatically Odoo will show you what price it makes. So the best solution in this case is to use the extra value price. Okay, I don't know if there are other questions. Can be variance incompatibility with product. I don't know if I really get your question, Sergey Androv. Can be variance incompatibility with product. If you define the variance that you want on the product, I don't know why there could be incompatibility. Okay, Peter Hott, for your case, the contractor uses the component stock from the company to produce. Yes, that's it. So the components are the components of the company because their stock are located into the subcontractor location. So they use actually the components of the company, and there is a collaboration between the subcontractor and the company. I'm using sales and accounting only now. I can't find a report for margin per month or quarter. Maybe for this kind of question, I suggest you to schedule a meeting because it's not really the topic of today, David Lee. You do not need to have the inventory, in fact. My items from year to years, slight different, and not all variants are applicable for certain years. There are not. There is not in Odoo a notion of time according to the variants. In Odoo v14 Enterprise, when receiving paying payments, now there are extra accounts called outstanding. In Odoo 14 Enterprise, when receiving payment, now there are accounts called outstanding receipts and payment. Yeah, how do I reconcile? Again, it's not really the case of this topic, so maybe I suggest you to. There will be some other webinar that will much more talk about accounting, and I suggest you to follow this webinar and ask your question here, or to ask your question to webinars at odoo.com. Yeah, James, it's correct, but if you define the correct price list, normally it will work then. Maybe you have to it has to be tested. Maybe you have to put the price list. Thank you, Florence. Beauty retail is referring to e-commerce, right? And we'll see a point of sale module. In their case, there, as I said earlier, maybe you missed the beginning of the webinar, but I said that they decided to go on an e-commerce not with Odoo, which is something that we do not recommend, in fact, but we have worked with it, and we put in place a flow that allowed them to easily work with Odoo once they extract the orders from their e-commerce. Yes, James H. Yes, that's true. I'm 100% sure of that. You can define the price list with a currency, and if you put the currency if you put the prices on the context, it will work. It's sure. How to add instruments in the product. What do you mean? Installments. I don't get you, Paul. Why would you add installments in products? You're welcome. I suggest you to follow all other presentations that will come in this webinar, in this series of webinar, because it will really be interesting for you to have the opportunity to show how we did to implement wheel cases. The Odoo v14 is now okay. When you when you create a new database, the database is in V14. How to make payments for a product. On several times. I'm sorry, Osama, I don't really get your point. Maybe can you also send an email to webinars@odoo.com, because I think that your question will need much more investigation. Please, can you explain warehousing and inventory in Odoo, how to buy stock and attribute it to a warehouse? Yeah, sure. So when you are buying something, you can define here. When you are buying something, you can define from here where it will be delivered. So here in this case, by default is the warehouse at the subcounter location. But you can define at the base, when you are doing the request of a quotation, where this thing will be delivered to. I'm using 13 now, but there is no update. Yes, it's normal. If you want to migrate to the new version, you have to make a to do the migration, and the migration will not be available soon. I guess it will not be today. So the new databases that are created is now in V14, but for the databases that you are currently using, if you want to go on the V14, you will have to wait that the scripts for migration are ready. For example, I have predict 100. So Osama, is it actually like so it's an accounting operation you want to do here? I guess so. Same for inventory adjustment. Yeah, so you can. So James H, same for inventory adjustment, not purchase. How to attribute them to a warehouse. So you can easily make a transfer. I guess you know how to do it. But you can also, when you do your inventory adjustment, you create it, you can mention on which location it will go. And if you do not mention the location here, when you will start your inventory, you will be able to tell it by product line. Is it answering to a question? I want to add a plan for the payment I mentioned. Yeah, I guess it's really an accounting operation, so I suggest you to go back on a webinar that is dedicated to accounting. So here you see you can define on which location you want this to be done. For actually not if you are okay. I get your point. If you are doing your location, if you are doing an inventory adjustment, here you will not be able to change the location from here, but you will be able to do it from transfers. If you are doing some transfers, you can tell, okay, I create a transfer, and I take a product, a source location, a destination location, and it will do my transfer. Osama said, yeah, I see your I see that you are really struggling with this point, but as it's an accounting point, I suggest really you to have a look at the webinar that will be dedicated to accounting, and it will show you how to do that. Okay, is there any more question? It's almost time for me to go. So, okay, thank you for your attention. If you want for more information or if you want to schedule a demo, do not hesitate to send an email to webinars@odoo.com and we will be glad to answer you. Thank you. Bye bye.